Hello students, welcome to the language class. In this video I will discuss with you how to write a good composition. Okay, what is a composition? Composition is presentation of ideas on a given topic. Now you may have many important ideas to write in your composition, but if you do not know how to present those ideas, then you lose heavily in expression. Okay, so let us begin with the introduction or how you should open your composition. There are many ways by which you can make your introduction or the first paragraph of your composition interesting. Okay, to grab the reader's attention, you might present an interesting fact, a surprising piece of information, an exciting quotation, an intriguing paradox, a short narrative or anecdote or a provocative question. These are the different ways by which you can begin your composition. I will discuss each one with you. First, an interesting fact. Suppose if the composition given to you is optimism is a key to success. Okay, now what I mean by interesting fact is that obviously you will begin your composition by writing something about optimism. Like you can say optimism means expecting a good outcome when you take steps to control what you can. Right, now we come to the interesting fact. So you can write something like, not only do optimists live longer, they are more likely to live to age 85 or longer, but they are more successful and happier too. So this is what I mean by interesting fact. Okay, next is surprising piece of information. Okay, for example, if the topic is you have to write about the day when earthquake struck your hometown, you will begin your composition by writing something in general about earthquake. Right, for example, you can begin your composition by saying earthquakes, one of the greatest natural disasters, have been changing the geographical structure of the earth for centuries. Okay, then for surprising piece of information, you can write earthquakes made the Himalayan range and the Andes of South America, and the shifting of tectonic plates is now pushing San Francisco towards Los Angeles. Okay, so after reading such a thing, the reader will be tempted to read further how you have connected this information or how is it relevant to your topic. Okay, next we come to an exciting quotation, which I think is the most popular way of beginning a composition with students. Okay, for example, if the topic given to you is teachers, okay, then you can begin with a good quote on teachers. For example, teachers encourage minds to think, hands to create, and hearts to love. Okay, then we come to an intriguing paradox, another way of beginning a composition. Paradox means a self-contradictory statement. For example, if the topic is related to something like organizing an event in the school, okay, then you can begin writing your composition by saying, we need constraints to unlock productive creativity, yet we reject and rebel against those same constraints. Okay, now this is self-contradictory. You are saying that constraints are needed to unlock productive creativity, and then you are also saying that everyone rejects and rebels against those same constraints. Okay, so that makes your beginning interesting. Next is a short narrative or an anecdote. Anecdote means a piece of narration from your own life, which is not fiction, which is from your own life, but it should not be more than 3 to 4 lines. Okay, then we come to a provocative question. Provocative means thought-provoking question. Okay, for example, if the topic given to you is cleanliness is next to godliness, okay, then you can begin your composition by saying, what would happen if nobody selected cleaning jobs? Okay, and then you can say something like, imagine living in a place where you are exposed to open and pouring trash bins and foul smell whenever you step out of your house. Okay, so that is something thought-provoking, right? Next point to remember is that you should not repeat words ideas and verbs. Choose the best verb and insert synonyms wherever required. Many times we see children repeating the same word again and again and again as if there is no substitute in their vocabulary for that word. Okay, and the most common word, common adjective that we find children using is the word good. If it is weather, then they say good weather. If it is speech, then they say good speech. Then good values, then good person. Okay, why don't we say pleasant weather, fine speech, moral values, virtuous person? Okay, same way, instead of good employee, competent employee, instead of good artist, skilled artist, instead of good supply, adequate supply, instead of good man, kind man, instead of good friend, we can say reliable friend, instead of good reputation, we can say untainted reputation. Okay, so I think you have got an idea what I mean by not repeating the same word again and again and again. Right, then you must watch that the tense is the same throughout. Okay, if you begin writing your composition with present tense, in present tense, then the same present tense should continue throughout the composition. If you begin your composition in past tense, then the same past tense should continue throughout the composition, provided you are not writing anything in direct speech. In direct speech, you can use present tense. Right. Okay, then fourth point is a lengthy introduction is hardly needed. Straight away jump into the issue and begin directly. Okay, lengthy introduction means suppose if the topic given to you is how you spent a night alone at home. Okay, then what would most of the children do? They would start writing from stating something about the morning itself. In the morning I woke up late, then I was informed by my parents that they had to go to a party. At night they had to go out of station to attend a party, and therefore I was expected to stay alone at home at night. And the argument they gave me to convince me was that I was a grown-up girl and I could take care of myself. And then I told them if they would buy me something, then I would agree to stay alone at home at night, and then go on and on and on. Now what you find is that one whole page you have read and there is no mention of night, whereas the topic of the composition was how you spent a night alone at home. Okay. Now what I mean to say is, if the topic is importance of internet for senior citizens, then it is more proper to begin your composition with these words. Although we tend to think of social media as a young person's game, the fastest growing demographic on Twitter are people aged 55 to 64, right? And so we have begun our composition, right? Now the next point is avoid generalizations. Okay, don't write general sentences in the beginning of your composition. For example, global warming has become a burning issue, or everyone loves to have a family, or since the dawn of man slavery has been an issue. Don't begin with general statements. The opening paragraph, the statements in the opening paragraph should be different and unique. Then you must your composition short and simple. If you notice that your introduction is getting long and detailed, you may need to move some of that stuff into your body paragraphs. Your introduction should give only necessary background to understand your topic. An introduction should be no longer than 10% of your final total. For example, for a 1500 word essay, your introduction should consist of only 150 words. Okay, that means if you are writing a composition of 350 words or 450 words, then the introduction should consist of only 35, 40 or 45 words. Okay, and try to avoid statements like I'm against this topic, or I'm in favor of this topic. Okay, instead improvise this statement, introduce creativity in this statement also. For example, instead of it you can write, I state with firm conviction that, and then the topic of your composition. For example, I state with firm conviction that good things in life are free, or good things in life are not free, something like that. And this statement comes in argumentative composition, and it is very, very important. In the first paragraph itself, you must write this statement. State your opinion in the first paragraph itself. Okay, first paragraph or the introductory paragraph, where you have discussed the topic of the composition. Right, and this is very important. After writing about the topic of your composition, the last line of the first paragraph should be, I state with firm conviction that, and then the topic of your composition. Okay, now we come to the point how you must develop paragraphs or the body of the composition. Okay, each paragraph should have a clear and singular focus to it. Whenever you are discussing any point, see that only one point is discussed in one paragraph. Okay? Do not shift topics within the same paragraph. Do not introduce more than one idea in one paragraph. When we read compositions, we find that in one paragraph, the child has written 3 ideas without any explanation, and in the next paragraph, the child has, because there were no more ideas to write about, the child has repeated the same idea. Then in the 4th paragraph also the same idea is repeated, and it becomes monotonous. Okay, don't do that. If you find yourself shifting gears to start a new topic, begin a new paragraph instead. Okay, that is a better thing. So now what you have to keep in mind is that, and this is very important for argumentative compositions, because there you have to write different points supporting your statement or refuting the statement. Okay, so if you have taken one point, then you will discuss only that point in that paragraph, right? And in an argumentative composition, it is important to have at least 5 main points, right? Have at least 5 main points. That means 5 body paragraphs. One will be the introduction, okay, or introductory paragraph. Then 4 or 5 main points, that means 4 or 5 body paragraphs, and the last paragraph will be concluding paragraph. Okay, now how to develop ideas? There are certain methods by which you can develop ideas. First one is illustrate your idea with examples. Okay, any idea, any point that you have taken, you can write examples in order to develop that idea. Or you can give an authoritative quotation in that paragraph in order to support your idea or your point of view. Okay, then anticipate and respond to counter arguments. Again, this method is very important when you are writing argumentative composition. Okay, for example, if the topic of your composition is best things in life are free, okay, and you are writing in support of this statement, you are writing indeed best things in life are free. Then education is also one of the important things in life, but it is not free. Okay, so you know that these are the counter arguments which can be given against your topic or against the stand that you have taken. What you can do, you can write that the counter argument to this topic can be that education is not free, whereas it is also one of the important things in life. Okay, what will a man do without education? Then you can state your point in this way, that though education is important and though I admit that it is not free, but what will be education without a good upbringing, okay, or values instilled in the child who has been given education? The result we have seen in our society, where the crime graph is increasing day by day. Okay, so education is important, but with that we need love and good values, which are not something that money can buy. Okay, again this states the statement that best things in life are free. Then you can also back your ideas with more evidence. Okay, or you can elaborate on causes and effects, right? Like this is the point that I have stated. If this is not done, then this will be the effect. Okay, or you can state definitions, write definitions, or you can use the technique of comparison and contrast, right? Stating your point and comparing it with another point of view. Okay, right children? Now we come to the point how you must conclude your composition. Children, remember, conclusion is meant to make the reader understand the message you wish to communicate. So you have to recap your ideas in a clear, summarizing manner. The recapitulation of your composition should be brief and rephrased. The important word is rephrased in a fresh way, not just cut and pasted from the composition. Okay, though you are recapitulating all the ideas which you have stated in your composition, but it should not look like cut and pasted from the composition. It is not enough just to restate your main ideas. If you only did that and then ended your essay, your conclusion would be flat and boring. You have got to make a graceful exit from your essay by leaving a memorable impression on the reader. You need to say something that will continue to simmer in the reader's minds long after he or she has put down your essay. Okay, there are few points while leaving this memorable impression. You can try giving a thought-provoking quotation at the end of your composition. Okay, or you can describe a powerful image at the end of your composition which is related to the topic also. Okay, or you can talk about consequences or implications. For example, if the ideas given in the composition, they are not heeded to, then the result will be disastrous or devastating, something like that. Okay, or you can state what action needs to be done, what should be the future course of action. Then you can end on an interesting twist of thought also, or you can explain why the topic is important. Everything should be rephrased, nothing should be cut and pasted from the composition. But one thing you must keep in mind is you must not introduce any new idea in the conclusion. It should not look like that you were going on with your composition, but you ended abruptly because you did not have much time to devote on your composition. Okay.